Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If nobody's told you today, I love you. And welcome to our M.A.S.H GPS headquarters here in Blairsville, Georgia. We're up on the mountain at the headwaters of the Notley River. And it's just an awesome day. And maybe it's yesterday or day before, we did a little video about pulling point. And I just want to do a little, not adding, but my God is awesome. And he really does pull point. And for all you combat veterans, you know what I'm talking about. The days that I was pulling point in the jungles of Vietnam were scary. You had to be on your toes and alert. And God just, he is awesome. But he finds ways to let us know that it's him. And I just love that. I mean, when God speaks to you, listen. It matters. It is what is going to carry us. And just happened in the last few days, so I just wanted to relate it. At least I'll put it somewhere in the files of what we do. But she ain't liking something. I'm looking at her. And I just got instructions just to go right ahead. So let's just go right ahead. But I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, I was just sitting doing nothing. And all of a sudden, I saw a skin tag come down over my eyelid on my right eye. And I looked at it and rubbed it. Anyway, it just kept growing. So 4 or 5 days ago, it was down to where I don't care what I did, it was in my line of sight. And so I was just thinking about that, and I told my wife, I said, I've got to go get that tag cut off my eyelid. She said, yeah, you need to. And so as I was laying down in the bed night before last, I just laid there, and I could even just shut my eye, I could feel it. It was that big. And so I was just thinking about it and going through a process of when I was going to go do that, and it had to be right away. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. But anyway, to make a long story short, I was just talking to the Lord about the video that we had done about pulling point. And it come to my mind that if I was pulling point right now, every time I'd look somewhere, that tag would be between me and what I wanted to see. And that ain't good. So it was necessary to get the tag off of there. So we're in the process here at M.A.S.H and GPS of developing a ministry that we can invite people in here to teach them how to pull point, how to live to where you know that God is directing where you're going. And that was my thought pattern with God. And a lot of people have to talk out loud when they're praying or whatever. I don't. Me and God, I mean, it's just communication. And it can be basically all the time. But it's not, but it could be. So anyway, that's how I went to sleep. And when I woke up the next morning, and I was, again, one of the first thoughts was, good morning, Lord, how did I? But, and I rolled over and was thinking about going to see the doctor today, and ladies and gentlemen, that tag was gone. Now, I'm not talking about a little gone, it was gone. Now, God in all of his type and shadow, how he does stuff. But that message to me was, that tag is gone. You can now see where you couldn't see. So what is in your life that's a tag, a skin tag, that's blocking your vision of where we need to go with God? And I sat down and made a list. And one by one, got rid of them with phone calls or emails or something. But resolve those things. And If you've got something in your life, no matter, it can be minor. That skin tag was certainly nothing critical. But when it blocks your view, then it can become very critical of what you're trying to accomplish. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus is real. The Holy Spirit is real. And pulling point for us in our lives is real. Go there, don't go there. And it's an everyday thing once you give in and let it happen. Lord, where do I go today? What do I do? And it's amazing how he just absolutely directs us, and something as minor as that skin tag. Now, I rejoiced. And it minor to you, yeah, not to me. God said you can see clearly now. Now go do what we've talked about doing. And that's what we're doing here at M.A.S.H and GPS. We're bound and determined with purpose to teach people how, and ourselves go create members to M.A.S.H and to God's army. And it's just critical. And if you want to know how or about it, contact us. Come to the mountain and do a 3-day seminar. I promise you, it's going to be exciting for you. You're going to learn, and we're going to learn. And pastors, if any of y'all are watching this, get in touch. And your 20%ers in your church are looking for purpose. And here on the mountain, that's what we teach. Peace, purpose, and power. And you have to have all three of those. And you can't get any of them without Christ. So let's find you some peace. If it's just as simple as a skin tag on your eye, and it ain't giving you peace, get rid of it. And God and the Holy Spirit is who can do that. So it's gone now. We can see clearly. And what are we looking for? Purpose. What is our purpose? Well, in life, our exit strategy is to go to heaven. But what is our purpose today? And just back everything down to today. So let's find God's purpose. GPS. God's purpose for today. And it's mid-afternoon here in the mountains. It's 2:30 in the afternoon right now. And God's been working with us all day long. It's been amazing. And this is just a third-party story, but we feed animals around here. And we got lots to feed. We feed 70 to 100 turkeys every day. And we've got squirrels by the boodles, birds, but we've got a few bears. And last year, in the fall, before they hibernated, a mama bear brought her cub by. And they were around for days, just in and out. But then back a month ago, when they come out of hibernation, she brought that cub back. And they had come on what we call the table. They come and eat and go away. And it's amazing to watch them. But ladies and gentlemen, I got to watch that mama bear wean her child. Now that's tough. But they just want their mama. But weaning, but now, just a few days later, I watched that cub fend for himself. And he comes with a very attitude of, I got to watch what's going on. I'm a little bear. But to watch him, and I said him, I really think it's a her, but I hadn't seen any evidence yet. But anyway, it's a little bitty, not tiny, but winged. And he come by 3 times today. When I first got up just after daylight, he come and got some corn, but skittish. And black bears are awesome to be around. I'm sorry, but anyway. And what God lets me see in that is the motto that we run by here in M.A.S.H. Feed them and they'll come. Find purpose and they'll stay. And I'm watching that happen. And the animal kingdom is absolutely an awesome, awesome place to watch that. And it's true. Pastors, feed them and they'll come. Feed their body and feed their spirit, and they'll come. And then they're not going to stay if we don't find purpose. So together, let's find purpose. And then with that, we're going to find the power to accomplish whatever our purpose is. God will give it to us. And I don't care if it's just a skin tag or if we need to move a mountain. The same God does both. And capable, totally capable of handling either one of those things. Now, he does everything through love, but I just love to watch him work. And dummy me, my whole life, he told me 20 years ago to go to work for him. Dang, no excuse, whatever. But 5 or 6 years ago, I said, okay, Lord, I'm yours. So I work for God. I really feel that way. I've had over 6,000 employees in my life and worked for somebody else very little. But it's important to understand how to process and proceed with our lives, mine and yours, to get us to the kingdom, but to bring people in here and in not here, but into our lives and watch them grow and listen to God tell us how to react to them. And again, pastors, we're about to run some seminars with pastors that want to learn how to train people to go and recruit, because that is key and critical. Now, we love you. If you see this, you got some questions, give us a shout. And I don't know, but some pastor's going to hear this today that needs to hear this. And if it's you, give us a call. Let's talk about how to grow your church into the kingdom. It's already there, but how to make a difference. Again, this is the old coach. I don't like you a little bit. I love you. Have a great, great day.
To learn more about M.A.S.H, visit our website at mash16ek.com. Watch the latest videos and download the God's Purpose System app for simple, insightful messages. Do consider donating to the Holly Hill Hero Project. Your donation helps provide a final resting place for our veterans at no cost. Find out the many ways you can give and make a difference in the life of a veteran and their families.